Furman has put together a special season this year, winning their first outright conference title since 1990 and are the 7th seed in this year's FCS playoffs after dealing with injuries to close out the regular season. They are a veteran team that could make a run in December. But how'd we get here? Stay tuned to find out. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'm planning to release a video every day from now until Christmas. Also, let me know who you think will win the FCS national title this season in the comment section below. Furman began playing football in 1889, but did not find a lot of success when it came to conference play until the 1970s. They served as an independent until 1902 and did not field a team from 1897 to 1899. They would join the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Association for the 1902 season, but would not field a team from 1903 until 1912. They rejoined the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Association in 1915 and later the Southern Conference in 1936. They won a share of their first conference title under Dick Sheridan in 1978. Sheridan led them to their first conference title in 1980 and 4 more titles before leaving to take the head coaching job at NC State. He led Furman to their first appearance in the FCS playoffs in 1982. It led them to 2 more appearances, even making it to the semifinals in 1983 and the championship game in 1985. He put together a 69-23-2 record as head coach at Furman and was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2020. Sheridan was replaced by longtime assistant Jimmy Satterfield, who led the Paladins to 3 straight conference titles and the 1988 Division I AA championship with a 13-2 record. They also made it to the semifinals in 1989 and the quarterfinals in 1990. He put together a 66-29-3 record, but after his departure, they would not make it back to the title game until 2001 under Bobby Johnson, who would leave for the Vanderbilt head coaching job following the season. They would find some success under Bobby Lamb and Bruce Fowler, but never the same success they found under Satterfield and Sheridan. Clay Hendricks was named head coach of Furman back in 2017 and grew up in Commerce, Georgia, before playing for the Paladins from 1982 to 1985 as an offensive lineman. After his playing career, he served as a graduate assistant at NC State before serving as the offensive line coach from 1988 till 2000. In 2001, he also became the assistant head coach, a role he held until 2007 when he left to become the offensive line coach at Air Force and later their assistant head coach in 2016. In his first season, the Paladins finished 8-5 and lost in the second round of the FCS playoffs before winning a share of the conference title in 2018, but not making the playoffs with a 6-4 record. The Paladins returned to the playoffs in 2019, losing in the first round before a rough 2020 season and a rough 2021 season where they went a combined 9-9. Going into the 2022 season, the Paladins added former Presbyterian quarterback Tyler Huff via the transfer portal. They started the season off with a dominant 52-0 win over North Greenville before losing to number 4 Clemson 35-12. They proceeded to beat number 18 East Tennessee State and Charleston Southern before losing to number 16 Samford. They finished the regular season on a 6-game win streak, including wins over number 6 Chattanooga and number 11 Mercer, and earned a spot in the FCS playoffs. They won 5 straight road games for the first time since 1990, when the streak went back to 1989 at the time. They earned the right to host their first home playoff game in 17 years. Hendricks spoke on the accomplishment saying, "One of the great things about FCS football is when you can put yourself in a position where you don't know when your season's going to end." They would dominate number 12 Elon in the first round, 31-6, before losing to number 5 Incarnate Word, 41-38 in the second round of the playoffs. Tyler Huff returned for the 2023 season as the Paladins' starting quarterback, and rather than being projected to finish in the middle of the pack this time, they looked to be the favorites in the SoCon and returned 18 starters from their amazing 2022 season. 6 players were voted preseason first-team All-SoCon, and they entered the season ranked 6th in the FCS preseason top 25. Huff spoke on their preseason hype saying, "This is a new position for me because every team I've played for has been considered the underdog going into the season. There's been a lot of hype coming into the season, so we've been preaching about not letting all the noise get in our heads. At the end of the day, listening to the noise isn't going to help us on the field. We're kind of the hunted team this year. We've got to accept that challenge each and every Saturday because we know we're going to get the best shot this year." Clay Hendricks was proud of the 2022 team, but knew they needed to finish this year with some hardware. They were still hungry and had their eyes on the conference title this time around. They also returned Dominic Roberto, who rushed for 1,149 yards and 11 touchdowns in 2022, and he was going to be rushing behind a veteran offensive line. Wide receiver Joshua Harris also returned as well. They also returned an extremely strong defense with guys like Braden Gilby, as well as defensive backs Hugh Ryan and Travis Blackshear. Hendricks said before the season, "We've got a pretty balanced team on both sides of the ball. We've got to stay focused on our process and what we do. If we can take of that, the wins and the losses will take care of themselves." The Paladins started their most exciting season in years with a Thursday night game against Tennessee Tech, the second time in 42 years they played a Thursday game in stadium history. Furman also debuted a new silver helmet to pay homage to the 1970s during the game. They won the game 45-10 before dropping a game to South Carolina 47-21 in Columbia. They then went on an 8-game win streak, including a 38-14 win over number 21 Mercer, number 8 Western Carolina 29-17, and number 13 Chattanooga 17-14, en route to their first conference title since 2018 and their first outright title since Jimmy Satterfield's 1990 team. They would end their season on a sour note when they dropped their first conference game and last game of the regular season to Wofford 19-13. Though in the season finale, neither Huff nor Roberto played due to injury, but are both cleared for Saturday's game against Chattanooga. Huff finished the season completing 66.7% of his passes for 1,489 yards with 7 touchdowns, while also rushing for 488 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground. Roberto finished the season rushing for 704 yards and 7 touchdowns on the ground. Furman was given the number 7 seed for the playoffs, which meant they earned a first-round bye. They will play Chattanooga this weekend for the second time this year, the same game Huff got hurt in earlier this season. Hendricks feels like the team will benefit from the first-round bye, saying, "It's the first time we've gotten a bye since they went to the 24-team field. The bye has come at a great time. We have played our last few games without our top 2 rushers, but our kids have handled it pretty well. Dom's kind of been beaten up all year. He injured his ankle in the 3rd game of the season, and he's had to deal with that, so we've tried to shut him down. He hasn't played much in the last 3 weeks. It'll be fun if we get them all healthy. Furman has the pieces to go on a run in the playoffs in December. We'll have to beat Chattanooga a second time this season. Furman could be a dark horse national title contender and a fun team to follow for the rest of the season. What do you think? Who will win the FCS national title this year? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more college football content. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.